Okay, welcome to this video on how to diet your dog. First we'll introduce you to Poppy. This is Poppy, our Cocker Spaniel. She may know from some of our previous videos. She's had a couple of litters of puppies. She's quite a greedy Spaniel and she has tended to put weight on as she's got older. So recently we decided we'd better put her on a diet after quite a lot of well-meaning comments from friends and a dog trainer that I go to. Poppy does agility, and carrying a bit of extra weight isn't necessarily a good thing when you do agility. So this is the food that Poppy used to eat. As you can see, she's quite keen on it. What we do with this is we add water to it. Okay, but we've been looking at ways of dieting her. So what we've done is we've added some vegetables to her diet and reduced the amount of kibble that she has. As you can see, she's quite hungry. She hasn't had a breakfast. Poppy, sit. Wait. Okay, wait. So good vegetables to start with for dogs are carrots, broccoli, the green stalks of cauliflower and apples. When you feed apples, you must make sure that you don't give them the core, because that contains pips, and the pips in apples contain cyanide. Okay, I think we're going to put Poppy out of her misery because she hasn't had her breakfast yet. She's very, very hungry. So I'm just going to show you what we're going to give her this morning. Okay, so this is her normal food with hot water added and then allowed to cool so it softens. And then she's got some chopped apple in it, some chopped greens and some carrots. Okay, so she's still getting a similar volume to what she would normally have. Poppy, sit. Sorry about the noise in the background, she's very hungry. But it's lower calorie, so she still thinks she's getting a good bowl full. We're also using a gobble bowl, which slows her feeding down. Poppy, come. Sit. Wait. So the gobble bowl will slow her down because she's also a very, very fast eater, which when you've got more than one dog in the household can be a problem, because what we've realised is she was finishing off the other dog's breakfasts and dinners. Wait. As you can see, no, Poppy, sit. As you can see, she's very keen on the food. She loves her vegetables. Now, go. Okay, so she's eating. She actually picks the vegetables out first. She loves her veg. It's quite strange, but if you watch, she's actually eating the apple and the carrot first. Until about 6 months ago, Poppy had not been fed with vegetables. And we didn't realise it was going to be this easy to introduce vegetables to her diet, but she actually prefers it to the dog food. There are lots of health benefits to adding vegetables to a dog's diet as well, and studies have shown that it can actually prolong the dog's life, and it's less likely to suffer with diseases such as cancer and bowel problems. Similar to the benefits in humans of eating their 5 a day, we're now making sure that our dogs are getting their 5 a day. And as you can see, Poppy loves it. If you have a greedy dog, the gobble bowl is a very, very useful way of slowing them down. And it makes the meal and the pleasure last a bit longer. It does mean that the slower dogs can eat their food without being having it all stolen by the greedier dog. If you have any questions about dieting your dog or introducing vegetables to your dog's diet, post them in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them. Poppy's been on this diet now for about a month, and during that time we've seen a significant reduction in her neck, which has become a lot slimmer. We're finding her collar was too tight, plus also we've noticed that she's reduced in fat around here. What we had noticed is that on walks, I think you've finished now, Poppy, on walks she was hanging at the back of the pack. We'd also noticed that when she was doing agility, she was knocking down the jumps she just couldn't jump over them anymore. Her tummy was sort of dragging. And she was breathless. We noticed particularly in the summer, she was breathless a lot. And since we've reduced her size, the fat that she's carrying, all those symptoms have gone and she's a much more lively dog. She's always loved her food, so that hasn't really altered. But she loves her vegetables, even more than her dog food.
If you're wanting to introduce vegetables into your dog's diet, these 4 are a great 4 to start with. They're things you're probably going to have going through your refrigerator on a regular basis for your human diet anyway, but these are things that can be safely added in and used, and most of it is bits that you would normally be throwing away or composting. The lower stalks on this broccoli, or even if you've got big head broccoli, cutting those into medallions, the dogs love them. The green leaves on the cauliflowers, as you're cleaning the cauliflower florets off, you can give them the cauliflower florets as well, but these stem and leaves would normally be composted and they make great dog snack and additions to the food. The carrots, fed in, again, cut into medallions. They'll eat the green bits at the end and the roots on the bottom, so we don't peel these or do any prep, we just cut them into medallions again and feed them directly into the dog snack. And the apples, both cooking and eating apples, are suitable. Cooking apples when they're first off the tree can be a little acidic, but these ones, when they're stored, wax up nicely and sweeten, so the dogs digest those perfectly well. Again, as Kate says, don't feed them any of the pips or core, decore them or cut them, and just feed them the apple flesh and skins directly. They love those, does them good. And some of the questions we're expecting to be asked is, do the dogs digest these healthily? Do they go through them in one piece or cause any change to their digestion? And the answer is simply, our dogs have traditionally digested these with ease, and it doesn't affect them in any way, doesn't increase the gas they produce or change their motions in any way.
Just to add to that, when you're introducing vegetables into your dog's diet, I would do it gradually. We did this with our dogs because they hadn't had vegetables in their diet before, and we were concerned that it might upset their tummies because their gut flora hadn't adjusted to it. So we did introduce the vegetables slowly, but now they're having quite a large volume of vegetables, and actually sometimes if they need a sort of treat or something to do, we actually will give them a carrot instead of a dog chew. You can see Poppy thinks that's quite a treat. But when you're starting, I would start with a small volume and see how your dog...
So what's the small volume? What ratio would you sort of start adding in? About?
A couple of pieces of chopped carrot and a couple of pieces of chopped apple. Start small to begin with. You may find some breeds prefer it to others. Our two toy poodles are not so keen on their vegetables. We've even tried them with blueberries, which were going a little bit past their best in the fridge, and they just spat them out. So not all dogs are as keen on vegetables as others. The spaniel's very keen, and we've also found that our Weimaraners love their vegetables. Although we haven't introduced our older Weimaraner to vegetables because he does have quite a sensitive tummy. But our young Weimaraner was weaned on vegetables from her breeder, and so she loves them and tolerates them really well.
And if you've got an overweight dog that you're looking to try and reduce its weight, you'd build it up to what sort of ratio vegetables to kibble or meat intend? About 25%?
Yes. I think the main thing is to take it gradually to begin with. You're looking to reduce the portion size of the dog's normal food and replace that volume with vegetables. But do it gradually. It's not a race. They didn't get fat overnight. If you try and diet them too fast, you'll probably just have a miserable, starving, hungry dog. We're doing it gradually with Poppy because she is quite a greedy dog. And we don't want to make her unhappy, and it's working very well. If you have any questions about adding vegetables to your dog's diet or dieting your dog, then please feel free to ask in the comments, and we'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed our video, please hit subscribe to watch more of our Gardener's Cottage YouTube videos. We'll be doing lots more dog training and dog dieting videos over the next month.